Hi guys, this is Red, the Chinese marketing coordinator at stakefish. Today I'm going to share my takes on understanding the concept of staking and what understanding I've seen on some materials and the people's way of localizing or translating the word staking. The word staking has been prevalent for nearly 8 years and recently has been gaining traction after Tezos, Cosmos, and other mainnet went live. Additionally, as Ethereum transitions to proof of stake, you may find the term running through your mind more frequently than before. However, many people still feel a sense of distance because they don't fully comprehend the meaning and the definition of the word. Perhaps you've heard people using words, especially some financial terms, to explain it. But my point is that staking is a brand new term, just like other newly coined words in the blockchain field. And the best way to understand it is to know the mechanism behind it. Why might using existing financial terminology may not be the best choice to understand it? Let's see it through an example. Well, some people may say that to stake tokens is to pledge tokens, with the understanding that generally you cannot move your asset or tokens when either staking or pledging are supposed to require the locking up of the assets. On the surface, they may look alike. However, although pledging looks like the closest words to staking, the minor difference may result in a wide divergence. In traditional finance, pledging is to give your asset as collateral before you borrow money from the bank or other institutions. But staking, on the contrary, I mean that you should lock your tokens in the network through its protocol for a period of time and then receive rewards. You can see that pledging is to acquire liquidity, but staking is to sacrifice the liquidity for future benefits. So evaluating the two terms within this angle, we reach the conclusion that the two terms really have opposite meanings. Occasionally, when running a staking pool or validators, pledging tokens sometimes will be required, but as a user, generally, it's not a requirement. You may find that to introduce staking as a pledging can be commonly seen in the process of localizing the term while being translated into native language. The reason mentioned above just a small example to illustrate why we try to firstly convey the original term to the community and then provide more information for people to understand staking mechanism easier. Also, that's why we choose to keep staking as it is when making translations. With that being said, it doesn't mean that we cannot find a better analogy. Just imagine that staking as the process of depositing your dollars in the bank, which will then be used to make the bank more secure, and in return, you will receive interest. The difference the bank is decentralized, and the fees, interest rate, and other terms will set and embedded in the protocol. Well, there are two phrases worth mentioning to point out how staking is new and decentralized from the traditional finance we're familiar with. One is not a key, not a coin. Staking by nature is to direct control your coins from your private keys, except that even a validator or staking pool cannot move any of your assets. The other is skin in the game. That is to say, the user is responsible for choosing a reliable validator to stake with. As when a validator misbehaves or is not stable, you may be punished or slashed by the network and then lose your money as well. What's more, staking should not be seen as a way of investment, but rather a way to secure the network. Also, it is important to note that many terms taken from the traditional finance won't properly translate to the cryptocurrency economy. You may see staking economy also have a great article discussing this topic. Okay, that is a concise explanation about what staking is for people just look into the blockchain field. If you're quite familiar with how mining works, you can easily make the mental leap by considering that proof of stake coins are just generation of many machines. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Please visit our social media platform for more information on the proof of stake sector and how we've helped facilitate the staking. Please reach out to us via our social media and emails if you have any comments or questions. Thank you.